What comes to mind when you hear the term dangerous music? Perhaps you think of bands such as the Rolling Stones, whose anti-establishment anthems made the older generations fear a challenge to the status quo. Or maybe you think of more literal danger, such as The Who destroying their instruments at the end of sets, and even, in the case of Keith Moon, loading their instruments with explosives to be detonated at the climax of a performance. Today we're going to explore the experimental form known as danger music, as well as the styles that influenced it. Let's begin with a simple definition. Danger music is based on the concept that some pieces of music can or will harm either the listener or the performer. But where did this genre come from? We can trace danger music back to the early 1960s and a community called Fluxus. Fluxus consisted of a group of composers, artists, poets, and designers who engaged in experimental art performances which emphasizes artistic process over a finished product. Fluxus has been described by many as anti-art, poking fun at the seriousness of modern art. Getting a response from an audience is one of the aims of Fluxus works, and to shock an audience in particular was important to many composers. Namjoon Payak, discussing the art of shock in regards to his compositions, says, "People who come to my concerts or see my objects need to be transferred into another state of consciousness. They have to be high, and in order to put them into this state of highness, a little shock is required. Anyone who came to my exhibition saw the head and was high." By head, Payak is referring to the literal head of a dead cow which was displayed at the entrance to his exhibition, Exposition of Music. For Payak, a performance was not just when the performers were on stage playing music, but the whole experience of arriving, getting seated, having an intermission, and in fact, Payak was also known to walk through the crowds of an intermission, cutting men's neckties off with scissors. One of the most notable victims of this was John Cage. We'll pause here for a minute to enjoy a performance by Tulsi Talbot.
Moon river, wider than a mile, I'm crossing you in style someday. Oh, dream maker, you heart's breaker, wherever you're going, I'm going your way. Two drifters off to see the world. There's such a lot of world to see. We're after the same rainbow's end, waiting round the bend. My huckleberry friend, Moon River and me.
One of the co-founders of Fluxus was Dick Higgins, and it was Higgins who first coined the term danger music. Between 1961 and 1963, he wrote a series of compositions under the title Danger Musics, each of which emphasized one spiritual, psychological, or physical danger. Some of his titles include Danger Music No. 9, Volunteer to Have Your Spine Removed, Danger Music No. 1, Spontaneously Catch Hold of a Hoist and Be Raised Up at least 3 stories, and Danger Music No. 17, Scream, 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 Scream. We'll continue our look into danger music following a performance of Fly Me to the Food by Bradley Barton Young and Sasha Fitzgerald. This piece is inspired by Dick Higgins' Danger Music No. 15, which instructs its performers to work eggs and butter into their piece. This piece requires intense concentration from the performer to ensure they maintain a good vocal quality while amusing things are happening around them.
Fly me to the moon, let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter, Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, baby, kiss me. Fill my heart with song, let me play forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you.
At this point, you might be thinking, but how is something like volunteering to have your spine removed or screaming considered music? Dictionary.com describes music as an art of sound in time that expresses ideas and emotions in significant forms through the element of rhythm, melody, harmony, and colour. A performer of Danger Music number 17, the screaming one, will explore multiple musical elements including rhythm, melody, and timbre when performing, like they would do if they were singing a song. The difference here is that Danger Music 17 is more valuable as a concept than in any physical emanation of sound. The point of the piece is not to be enjoyed as one would enjoy a Mozart concerto, but to be a concept that one can think about in a metaphoric perspective. Our next performance by Caitlin Kirby is a performance of Debussy's Arabesque interjected with various distressing news stories. The aim of it is to shock the audience at the unexpected juxtaposition of the news clips and the music. It highlights how life has to continue despite the sudden tragedies that we experience throughout our lives.
Has engulfed several cities in Miyagi Prefecture. Live footage of Miyagi as the tsunami has struck the area, obviously engulfing.
But at 2:46 in the afternoon, without warning, the earthquake struck.
This is the diet session recorded earlier right when the earthquake hit.
Has crashed into the World Trade Center in New York. That happened within the last few moments. No details at this stage as to what sort of plane it is. It could well be a large plane. We are hearing reports of a 737 not yet confirmed.
Tourists visited an active volcano, some walking right into the crater. Many of them never made it out. Take a look at these dramatic images.
In Paris at this hour, the historic Notre Dame Cathedral is burning. The spire has collapsed. Flames burst from the roof just a short time ago. We've been watching this giant plume of smoke that can be seen all over Paris.
So the next time you're an audience member at a live music event and hear a health and safety announcement, be grateful that you're not at risk of a bulldozer entering your concert.